Yael. Yael. Noah.
I mean, but no mitzvah. Should I say?
No. You should just sing.
Are you sure you shouldn't get them? Okay.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, לה 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 לה.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So when I say Shabbat Shalom, that's an invitation for you to say Shabbat Shalom back. Let's try it again. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Now it sounds like Shabbat in here. Good morning. Welcome to all of you here in the sanctuary. Welcome to all of you in our virtual congregation. We are so filled with joy this morning to share in worship and at this simcha for you, Yael and Noah, at your bat mitzvah. Judaism is a chain of tradition passed down from thousands of years, from generation to generation to generation. Today, we celebrate, as you two are the next link in that chain. We recognize this through the blessing of Talis, and we invite you to come up and recite the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kadoshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit.
And together we say, Amen.
Amen.
we continue our service as we thank God. Moda an, yes? Moda ani, moda ani. We continue on page 74. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. Page 74. We thank God for implanting a soul within us each and every morning as we wake up. Thank you, God, for our soul is pure. We're on page 78. Elohai neshama shenatata bi. We continue our service on page 80 with Nasim B'chol Yom, their blessings for daily miracles. And we have an important job. The cantor and I will chant the verses back and forth, and we ask everyone to say the word Amen between verses. You'll catch on very quickly.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר נתן לסחבי בינה להבחין בין יום ובין לילה.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מתיר אסורים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם רוקה הארץ על המים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin mitzadei gaver. Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם מלביש ערומים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten le'ayef koach.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם המעביר שינה מעיניי ותנומה מעפעפיי.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelem Elohim. Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בת חורים.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael. Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוזר ישראל בגבורה.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara. Amen.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה.
Amen. We continue with Psalm 150 on page 100. Hallelujah.
הללו, 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 אל בקודשו, הללו ברכי עוזו, הללו בגבורותיו, הללו כרבותו, הללו, 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 הללו בתיק השופר, הללו בנבל וכינור, הללו בתוף ומחול, הללו במינים ועוגה, הללו, 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 הללו בצלצלי שמח, הללו בצלצלי תרועה, כל הנשמה תהלליה, הללו, הללויה, הללו, 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 הללו.
We turn to page 108 for the Baruch Hu, and we rise.
La
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, יוצר אור ובורא חושך, עושה שלום ובורא את הכל. המאיר לארץ ולעדרים עליה ברחמים, ובטובו מחדש בכל יום תמיד מעשה וראשית. מה רבו מעשיך אדוני, כולם בחוכמה עשית. מלאה הארץ קנייניך. תתברך אדוני אלוהינו על שבח מעשה ידיך, ועל מאורי אור שעשית יפרוך סלע. אור חדש על ציון תאיר ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצר המאורות.
אהבה רבה אהבתנו, אדוני אלוהינו, אמלה גדולה ויתרה, עמלת עלינו. בעבור אבותינו ואימותינו, שבטחו בך בעבור אמותינו. ותלמדם חוקי חיים, כן תכוננו תלמדנו. עם רחם רחם עלינו, רחם עלינו. ותן בליבנו להבין ולהשכיל לשמוע, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות, ולקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה. והאר עינינו בתורתך, ודבק ליבנו למצוותיך, ויחד לבבינו לאהבה וליראה את שמך. ולא נבוש ולא ניכלם ולא ניכשל לעולם ועד, כי בשם קודשך הגדול והנורא בטחנו. נגילה ונשמחה, נגילה ונשמחה בישועתך. והביאנו לשלום מארבע כנפות הארץ, ותוליכנו קוממיות לארצנו. כי על פה ישות אתה, ובנו בחרת, וקרבתנו לשמך הגדול. סלע באמת להודות לך ולייחדך באהבה. ברוך אתה אדוני הבוחר בעמו ישראל באהבה.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha. Vehayu hadvarim ha'elech asher anochi mitzvavecha hayom al levavecha. Veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta ba'am v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Adonai Elohechem, Amen. We continue our prayers on page 122 with Mi Chamocha, our song of freedom and redemption.
Yai bye bye bim bim bam,
Yabba bye bye bim bum, yabba bye bye bim bim bum, yabba bye. You can do this. Yabba bye.
ay 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 ay,
Yabba bye bye bim bum,
ay
yai.
ay 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 ay.
Let's try it again from the beginning.
Yai
Bye bye bim bim bum, yabba bye bye bim. Very good. Yai bye bye bim bim bum, yabba bye bye bim bum, yai bye da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bum, yai bye da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bum.
mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha
נהדר בקודש,
נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, נורא תהילות, אוסף אלה, שירה חדשה, שיבחו גאולים, לשמך אספת חיים, יחד כולם הודו, והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
ay ay da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bum, yai ay da 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 da, yabba bye bye bim bum.
צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, ופדחנו ממך, יהודה וישראל. גואלנו, אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
We're on page 124. Please rise for the Amidah.
Don't we have to say the English? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotinu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך חוזר ומשיח ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, עזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחייך כל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך מנהיג ומקיים, ומצמיע ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, הכתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, אדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון לדור ודור. הללויה, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. מקדשי שבי שבת, כולם ישמעו ויתענגו מטובך שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת, וקוראי עונג שבת.
pause for a moment of silent prayer. We are at the best part of the service, the Torah service, the peak of our worship this morning and every week. We ask anyone that is 10 years old or under at this time to come up to the bima. Yes, you can do it, or you cannot, it's fine. And to help us open the doors of the ark. And we ask everyone else to please rise. Ein kamocha.
Can Linda come up? Can you say
And anyone under the age of 13 can also come up to the bima.
וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אהבה רחמים היטיבה ברצונך את ציון, תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים, כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך ארם ונישא, אדון עולמי. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה, תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, קדוש שמו. גדלו לאדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה, והגבורה, והתפארת, והנצח וההוד. כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, כי כל בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה, ימית נעשה לכל דרוש. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים.
Please be seated. We are reading from Parashat Tazria today, and for the honor of the first Aliyah, I am so happy to welcome Francoise and Leon Horowitz. How did I do? The grandparents to the Bima. Okay, so find your place.
ברוך אתה אדוני מלך המלך. ברוך אדוני המברך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו בכל העמים ונתן לנו את התורה. ברוך אתה אדוני נתן התורה.
Amen.
וידבר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל לאמור, אישה כי תזריע וילדה זכר וטמאה 7 ימים, כי ימי מידת סתיוותה טמאה. וביום השמיני ימול בשר הולדתו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורה אמת, וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
ושלושים יום ושלוש.
For the honor of the second Aliyah, we welcome Uncle Neil Horowitz and, of course, Natalie Mehler.
ברכו את אדוני מבורך.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
ושלושים יום ושלושת ימים תשב בדמי טהרה, בכל קודש לא תיגע, ואל המקדש לא תבוא עד מלאת ימי טהרה. ואם נקבה תלד וטמאה שבועיים כנידתה, ושישי יום וששת ימים תשב על דמי טהרה. ובמלוא ימי טהרה לבן או לבת תביא כבש בין שנתו לעולה ובין יונה אותו לחטאת אל פתח אוהל מועד אל הכהן.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. And now we call our Bat Mitzvah.
תעמוד, 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 הבחורה הבת מצווה, לעלייה לתורה.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך.
Baruch Adonai Havarach Le'olam Va'ed.
ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר בחר בנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
והקריבו לפני אדוני וכיפר עליך וטהרה ממקור דמך. זאת תורת היולדת לזכר ולנקבה. ואם לא תמצא ידה תעשה ולקחה 2 תורים או 2 בני יונה, ואחד לחטאת ואחד לחטאת, וכיפר עליך הכהן וטהרה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, Asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata b'tochenu Baruch ata Adonai noten Torah.
Amen. And Mazel Tov. Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Siman Tov, Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Siman Tov, Siman Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Mazel Tovu, Siman Tov. Yehelanu, 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 Ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulechol Yisrael.
We'll get to sing it again.
Mazel Tov. We're so happy for you. For the honor of the next Aliyah, it is the siblings. Sarah and Yoav, please come to the bima.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamrach le'olam va'ed.
Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Vayidaber Adonai al Moshe ve'laharon lemor Adam ki ve'or b'saro se'et tosafachat o vaheret v'haya ve'or b'saro menegat sarad v'huva el aharon hakohen o el achad mibanav hakohanim v'ra'a kohen et haneka be'or habasar v'se'ar baneka hafach lavan umarei hanega amok me'or b'saro negat saratu v'ra'ahu hakohen v'timeoto.
Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Yeah, I know it.
And for our final Aliyah, our Bat Mitzvah. Wait a minute. The cantor will call you to the Torah.
Tamot, habachura habat mitzvah, le'aliyah le'torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamavorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamrach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Ve'im baheret levanahi be'or b'saro be'amok ein mareha min ha'or usara lo hafach lavan ve'hizkir hakohen et hanega shivat yamim. Wait, yeah. V'ra'ahu hakohen bayom hashvi'i v'hinei hanega amad beinav lo fasav hanega ba'or v'hizkiro hakohen shivat yamim shenit וראה הכהן אותו ביום השביעי שנית, והנה כהנגע ולא פסח give me a sec. ולא פסח הנגע that's wrong. ולא פסח הנגע בעור וטיהרו הכהן משפחתי וכיבס בגדיו וטהר. No. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו את תורתו לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Here we go. Full top.
Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov. Simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov, simen tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simen tov.
Mazel tov to the both of you. We rise as we return the Torah to the ark.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לבני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאי רי 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 יאי רי 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 יאי רי 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 יאי רי 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 איי רי רי יאי רי 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 יאי רי 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 אותו על ארץ ושמיים וירן קרן לעמו תהילה לכל חסידיו לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, הללויה, כי לכך טוב נתתי להם תורתי אל תעזובו. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
It's a different one. No. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hanemarim be'emet baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo u'Yisrael amo u'Vinvi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek ve'ish ba miba'al shalisha vayaveh le'ish ha'Elohim lechem vikurim esrim lechem seurim v'charmel v'tziklono vayomer tem la'am vayochelu vayomer misharto ma'aten ze lifnei mea ish vayomer tem la'am vayochelu Kiko amar Adonai achol ve'oter Vayitem lifneihem Vayochlu vayoteru Kidvar Adonai.
A man came from Baal Shalisha, bringing the man of God some bread made of the first barley harvest, 20 loaves, and fresh grain with ears of new corn. So Elisha said, "Give it to the people to eat." His servant said, "How can I put this small amount in front of 100 people?" But he insisted, "Give it to the people to eat. The Eternal has said that they will eat and have some left over." So he gave it to them. They ate and had some left over, as the Eternal had said.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol haolamim sadik bechol hadorot ha'el ha'ne'eman hamocher ve'osei hamdaber umkayim shekol devarav emet v'tzedek al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh Shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limanucha lechavod ultifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umvarchim ota yitbarach shimcha befi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat.
We continue our service with a different type of words of Torah. These are Torah interpretations, Edrash, and you're up first.
I know you've all been sitting for a while, so let me ask you to stand up if you have been sick in the last 2 years. Thank you for making yourselves vulnerable. You can sit down now. Thank you. Reading my parashah, or Torah portion, which describes the laws that govern the way a community deals with leprosy, I noticed a strict order and structure to the text. This was unusual, considering my previous interactions with the Torah have always been more nuanced, much like the Jewish people. So I asked myself, why, when it comes to sickness, are we so eager to categorize individuals as pure or impure? One theory, as I discussed with the rabbi, is that order brings people closer to God or some kind of ideal. However, by thinking in terms of black or white, pure or impure, we construct a fortress from a reality that is more nuanced. Our relationships become more limited as we are wary of what we let in, scared by the new ideas, the sickness that could penetrate the perfect world we constructed for ourselves. Shouldn't we challenge our instincts to shy away from uncertainty and embrace the imperfections within ourselves and our community? Does the way we behave towards the sick test our commitment to each other? It really is a choice. Do I want to be someone who crumbles in the face of adversity, or someone who blooms when things get hard? Someone who sticks with the person through their sickness and in health? Or do I want to be someone who deserts them in their time of need? What about the public health implications, you might ask? Even when it is the right decision to quarantine, there is a way to preserve emotional closeness. If we deprioritize keeping our core relationships alive during a pandemic, are we sacrificing too much for the preservation of health? Now, going back to the text, even though leprosy manifests physically, some of the most profound changes in the afflicted are below the surface, below the skin. After my Crohn's disease diagnosis, and even the swelling of my face after oral surgery, I became more self-conscious. I wanted to hide away because I was worried about how people would perceive me. Illness is often thought to be someone's fault, the bad mother or the hyperactive schoolchild, but this is simply a falsehood. You cannot define someone's worth by their misfortune. In fact, I would argue that overcoming disease makes us more resilient. Sickness takes, but it also gives. The truth is, no one is safe from sickness. Sickness is biological, yet we mustn't forget the toughest battle occurs in the mind, where the true immunity is forged. Maybe it's bad that we know the end of the book before we have read it. We know we will age. We know we will lose those around us. We know we will grow frail. But it is also a blessing. At least I like to hope it is. A blessing to be able to be sick, to know what health is. You can think of your life as being destined for something inadequate, or you can let yourself realize the opportunity to be human, to process information, to feel joy, to even feel scared is a miracle. You simply cannot have happiness without sadness unless you're willing to give up both. Now, I want to leave you with a quote by Hannah Brencher. Maybe life isn't about avoiding the bruises. Maybe it's about collecting the scars to prove that you showed up for it.
Yael, now I get to talk to you. First of all, mazel tov to you. Congratulations. We are so proud of you. I have enjoyed our time together so much over these past few months in preparation for today. When I think about you, words like cerebral, philosophical, deep, and kind come to mind. Those are not words I would use for every person I meet your age, but for you, they are true. You are a thinker, and today, through your intellect, you've honored what this process is meant to be by bringing your full intellectual and spiritual resources to it. A revered teacher of Judaism once said this to me about Jewish music. He said, "Why make it simple when you can make it complicated?" I couldn't agree more. Today, you have not shied away from the complications of this text. You didn't simplify it. You let Torah be what it is, and that is a sign of true respect for our tradition. Torah is a living, breathing document that we interact with year after year after year, and we work on our understandings of the text each time we look at it. With each bat mitzvah, we are adding to that canon of interpretation. And if I'm being honest, Parashat Tazria, the parasha you spoke about today, is one of those Torah portions that we used to feel a little bit badly about when we assigned it to a bat mitzvah. It's tough. It's about illness and how the community responds to illness. But now that we live in a pandemic, the parasha is suddenly deeply relevant and even prescient. The pandemic gives us an opening to really understanding this parasha in a totally new way. And so each interpretation that you've made today is even more essential and more urgent to getting closer to understanding the meaning of our sacred text and also the meaning of our world. So much has changed, and therefore, so many of our understandings of Torah have changed along with it. Today, you've begun to do the critical work of helping to provide new insights for all of us, and for that, we say thank you. And so for you, my hope is that you can continue to hold complexity as you move forward in a complicated world, that you allow your mind to continue to be expansive and to shy away from being reductive, as is so often the tendency in our culture. Yael, may you go from strength to strength, and may you be strengthened. Mazel tov.
Thank you. The beer soap. Good luck. Thank you.
First and foremost, let me. Hello? Okay. First and foremost, let me explain to all of you my parasha, or Torah portion. My parasha is about sickness and whether it affects how you're viewed, as impure or pure. My parasha says if you have a sickness that goes away after 7 days in isolation and that the affected area doesn't change color, you're pure. But if either of these are told to be untrue, you're impure. Then it goes on to different types of leprosy and even mentions disease in objects. The punishment for being deemed impure was isolation, exile. Now, naturally, I had questions. The first question was, can you condemn the few to save the many? Let me give you an example. In China, in the 1300s, during the bubonic plague, there was a small outbreak during which about 300 people were infected. These people were exiled and sent to die, isolated from society. I understand why you would want to contain the spread of the plague, but it is horrible to think that 300 innocent people, mothers, daughters, friends, uncles, were condemned to die to save society. I personally would not have been able to do this, but I do understand and would probably support the government if they were to do this. As we live our lives in a pandemic, we may understand this now more than ever. Let me give you an example on a much smaller scale. Say a child gets COVID and they have to be isolated for 14 days. Door closed, mask on. For a mother, that's torture, seeing your child suffering and not being able to help or even hug them. I saw this with my mom when my brother Yael got COVID. While it makes sense to quarantine the sick so they do not spread the infection to an elder or someone at risk, like my grandfather, we must also acknowledge the hard decisions or sacrifices we must make on a larger or smaller scale. Now, I'm not being judgmental. I know I'd hug my mom if she got COVID, and I'm sure she'd do the same. The second question I will pose is it fundamentally wrong? No, it is. It is fundamentally wrong to categorize people based on sickness alone. My parasha talks about marking people pure or pure based on sickness and its degree in your body or on objects. Everyone has a sickness one way or the other, whether it's physical, mental. No one is free of sickness. Your sickness does not define your value. It's not what you're worth. It's part of each and every one of us. And is a part of life. I believe we must change the structure of bad versus good. We must get rid of our preconceived ideas. We must loosen the barriers and have sickness be viewed as neither bad nor good. I believe we should destigmatize and normalize sickness. In my Torah portion, they didn't mention helping those who were sick because they had neither the means to protect themselves nor the cure for the infected persons. Nowadays, since we have the means to do both, I believe we should. Now when someone is infected, we can stay in touch with them electronically to support them and help them mentally. As I transition from childhood to adulthood, I must be careful about my actions since they now matter to society and be aware of my preconceptions. My bat mitzvah signifies my becoming an adult in the Jewish community and choosing the type of person I want to be in the world. I promise I will try my hardest to eliminate all my biases on sickness, and I will be, whether it be physical or mental. I will be careful of my actions and try to make them positively affect the most people possible, strangers or friends and family alike. I hope you join me on my quest, and I thank you for being here on this very special occasion.
Noah, Mazel Tov to you. Being with you brings me joy, and all of us as well. You are intelligent, you are an independent and clear thinker, you have your own ideas, and you also have the ability to execute those ideas. That is a rare combination that will serve you well. We're so proud of you. Both you and your sister shine so brightly today, and I can see that you get many of these qualities from your mom. Natalie, we are so very grateful for your commitment to the village temple. Liat is here today. Alex is here today. Calix is here today. That is because you make us feel like, and Ava, you make us feel like family. And we feel like you are our family as well. Noah, you named something for all of us today that is real and pervasive. You discussed the stigma around sickness. I have seen this so many times in my professional capacity. Parents who hesitate to share a child's mental health struggle, adults who hide cancer diagnoses, teens who are fearful of coming forward with their health challenges. And that's for many reasons. But the one you talked about is one we can all work on. I couldn't agree with you more. Sickness is a part of living. There's no one in this room that hasn't been touched by it. The cultural closeting of illness detracts from our ability to communally heal. It's better to reckon with a problem than to deny it. That's the Jewish way, and that's what you've reminded us of today. Instead of avoiding a problem, you've given voice to it. And Noah, I'm not surprised at all, because you have quite a voice. You are a truth teller. And so for you, I say, Chazak va'amatz, may you continue to be strong and courageous. Something tells me that you will be able to do that easily. Courage, strength, honesty, and insight are innately within you, and there's no avoiding it. And now it's my pleasure to invite up your mom as I bestow the priestly benediction upon you and your sister.
It's so good.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Yael Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka. May God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Baruch atah
see all of you here. First, let me thank the rabbi for your loving kindness. You've made this process so much easier for all of us. Thank you to all of you for coming. I have my speech prepared, so please indulge me here. I had to mention that it's an anniversary, it's a centenary. 100 years ago, on March 18th, just 2 years after the 19th Amendment granted women the right to vote, right here in New York City, Judith Kaplan became the first American girl to celebrate her bat mitzvah, an honor that until that moment had been reserved to 13-year-old boys only. So beyond the feminist victory it represents, I want to reflect on the significance of this date in the context of your bat mitzvah. A fight for equality was fought. Small scratches were etched in glass over time, and eventually the ceiling was shattered, unleashing the full power of half of humanity. Some might even say the better half of humanity. The lesson here is fight for a better world and speak up. Your voice will join the voices of many others, and the chorus will be heard from far away. The second lesson is that while today we celebrate the two of you, it is also the continuation of a long tradition. As you take your place in our rich Jewish history, may you feel the same sense of pride to see your children and their children claim this heritage for centuries to come. Yael and Noah, it fills me with so much joy to watch you become bat mitzvah today. I know your dad would join me in finding the larger meaning in this celebration, while it would be very evident to everybody how much he's beaming with pride at the young ladies that you are becoming. I will miss his bigger-than-life presence today to help me honor you, but we have learned how to manage, and today we will do much more than manage. I remember our family reaching this milestone with Sarah and Yoav just 6 years ago. And now I have some perspective to understand that the woman you are each becoming is already visible to those assembled here, to your community. Yael, I'm going to start with you since you're the oldest. By 1 by 1 minute.
1 minute. It was like 50 seconds. God. I'm taller than her, so, you know.
So Yael,
Yeah.
for the first few years, we had but a window into your inner thoughts. Yet it was immediately evident that you observed your siblings and the world around you, analyzing every little detail with an uncanny intensity. It became very clear, very fast, that behind these beautiful eyes there's a wise soul, a philosopher, a complex thinker, and a very sensitive and kind person. My love, there's nothing you can't do. Dream big and learn how to enjoy life's sometimes uncomfortable journey and laugh at its uncertainties and inconsistencies. Noah, my sunshine, I smile just thinking of you. You are a force to be reckoned with. Your energy and fearlessness will take you to amazing places. Your convictions and self-confidence will not deviate you from whatever path you take unless you decide to take a different path. Your love of life and new encounters will no doubt provide you with many companions on your journey. You are a natural leader because you truly care about others, and I can't wait to hear the stories from your many adventures, or even better, join you on some of them. A bat mitzvah is a coming-of-age celebration for a young woman leaving childhood. Similar ceremonies marking the sexual maturity of a child are present in many cultures. For us Jews, the focus is on the bat mitzvah becoming morally responsible for their words and their actions. They get to decide and tell us who they want to be in the world. After months of study, Yael and Noah stood in front of the congregation and provided their take, their reflection on this week's Torah portion on sickness. They provided us with a glimpse into their moral fiber their inner workings. Of course, the status of mensch is one to be attained, and both showed a generous and thoughtful disposition. This nascent menshiness is something to be nurtured, encouraged by me, but also by each of you. It has taken a village to raise these girls over the past few years, and our work is not over. Mitzvah means good deed. As parents, we take great pride in witnessing how our sons and daughters seek to contribute to others through selfless acts of kindness and displays of empathy. The impact you girls are having is already visible at home. During the past couple of years, as you embark on the transitional teenage years, you have pushed me to be better, to do more. You, along with Sarah and Yoav, challenge my opinions with a pure, sometimes implacable view of the world. If I have made compromises along the way to avoid confrontations by taking the easy road, you are forcing me to revisit my stance to make sure I have not lost the bigger picture somehow and shortchanged my ideals. I'm thankful, most days, if I reflect on it, for the banter and the challenge. Girls, as you take your place in the history of our family, in the history of the Jewish woman, and in the society at large, may you never leave the vulnerable behind. May you bring warmth to those around you. May you fight and pave the way for a better world. May you continue to be a source of pride for your family and your community. Mazal tov.
One, I should have prepared that. And two, I love you. You guys get to throw candy at us.
So we are now participating in an ancient tradition known as candy throwing. While we pass the candy out, I will remind you how it's done. It is not done aggressively so that we injure somebody or our sacred space.
Yo, you get one.
It is done gently and with
We know
love. And not until I say when.
Fine, you get two. You eat one. It's candy to throw at us. Don't throw too hard. I don't want to die. You get an extra one. You won't die. Even if we throw hard, why do you want to? If you want to, but then you don't throw too. Ollie, you guys can hit me. 10 points to me in the head. Oh, wow.
Let's eat one, right?
Okay, Yael and Noah, come back to the bima. Receive this blessing of sweetness. Yael, come back. We miss you.
Does everyone who wants have candy? If you want to.
If you would like to eat them, you can. Yael, we are waiting for you.
Does everyone who want have candy?
Yes.
And now we're going to wait till the clergy get out of the way.
I want food.
Okay.
There's no more left.
Go ahead.
Ollie, stay if we want.
It's a good idea to stand behind the podium. Now is the time. If you have candy, you can throw it.
In the face. Candy! I got one!
Well done. We turn now to our concluding prayers. You can come back to the bima. We are on page 282. Please rise.
We stand here.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וקורא משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We turn now to Kaddish, our prayer for reflecting and remembering those whom we've lost either this past year or during this time in years gone by. We turn to page 294. Would anyone like to share the name of a loved one for Kaddish today? We rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach yirteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayachon uvyomechon v'chayeh d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'lamei el maya, yitbarach v'yishabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudesha barichu, Le'ela minko birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'el kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל.
Please be seated. We invite up our co-president and representative of the Village Temple Board of Trustees, Jill Wilkinson, to the bima for a presentation.
Dodging all the candy. Thank you. So, you guys had the hard part today. I get the fun and the easy part. I get to bestow the gifts onto Yael and Noah. First, I just want to say it's been so wonderful to see you guys grow up at the temple. And I echo the rabbi's words about Natalie, you staying with the temple and having your family here. It's just been amazing to see the girls grow and into such fine young women. And you guys were wonderful today, so poised, so thoughtful, so fun and spirited. And I have to say, this has actually been the first time I've been back for a bat mitzvah since Emily's bat mitzvah, which was right before the pandemic. So it was a beautiful service, and thank you. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, Dan. It was really wonderful. So for your gifts, girls, you each get a Kiddush cup, and you each get a tzedakah box. So for the Kiddush cup, the reason why we want you to, wherever your adventures take you in life, we just want you to be able to bring Shabbat into your home always. Shabbat comes around 52 times a year, and it's a way for keeping that with you. The tzedakah box, when you think about tikkun olam and giving back to your community and to society, that will always be a part of you as well, and we hope that you continue to do that. So mazel tov, Natalie, to you and to your whole family. You have a beautiful family, and I wish you guys all the best.
And for our closing song, we are so honored to invite up student cantor Calix Jacobson to the Bima to help sing it with our student cantor Emma Mayer. Oseh Shalom, please join us.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen.
Shabbat Shalom, Mazel Tov.
Oh, yeah.
Hello? Hello? Hi, great.
Hello? Just want to say one thing. So there was a change in venue maybe 3 weeks ago. I want to make sure tonight it's 6:30 at the Faculty House at Columbia on 116. It's no longer, yeah, it's at Faculty House. Remember, faculty. Look at the invite. Or call me, Faculty House 116 tonight at 6:30. Can't wait to see you guys.
There's actually a song